you talk about some common mistakes that you generally see with affiliates, media buyers, and business owners as a whole?
Now, there is a very large group you just mentioned, affiliate media buyers, business owners, and then mistakes with tracking. So, consistent mistake that everybody does. What's important that there is a tracking, especially when you do affiliate, because if you don't have the numbers real time, then you don't make right decisions.
Business owners, sometimes media buyers, they do not understand the advantage, or maybe that's not clear, the difference between conversion API and having a dedicated tracking and attribution solution to push the data back to the platforms.
Yeah,
So
that's
what do
a
you
good
think?
question. I mean, conversion API is just the connector between your data and Facebook. And you were
Correct.
right when you mentioned when iOS 14 hit everybody.
Hmm.
Yeah, Facebook was hit hard.
So first of all, thank you, Vlad, for taking your time, and welcome to the Scaling Community Podcast. How have you been?
Thank you. It is my pleasure to be here. And you know what? I'm good. Today we suddenly have snow for February after quite more like spring weather. So good. I mean, enjoying the weather.
And how's everything in Ukraine and in that part of the world?
Bad. I mean, look, there is a war going on. So in Ukraine, that's bad. I'm older from Ukraine. I'm for the last 6 years, 8 years. I'm living in Lithuania. So
Okay.
here, of course, there is no war. People enjoy the peace, but they're getting ready. Let's put it this way.
Okay, so today we'll be talking about the future of ad tracking, attribution, and the super hyped AI with Vlad Zhovtenko, the founder and CEO of RedTrack. So let's start with the truth about tracking and attribution and some common mistakes, the myths, like the mistakes, the common misconceptions about it, what goes around in this industry. So, what do you see? Can you talk about some common mistakes that you generally see with affiliates, media buyers, and business owners as a whole?
Now, there is a very large group you just mentioned, affiliate media buyers, business owners, and then mistakes with tracking. So, really, first of all, there is no like consistent mistake that everybody does. What's important that there is a tracking, especially when you do affiliate, because if you don't have the numbers real time, then you don't make right decisions. And believe it or not, in affiliate world, most media buyers know that well. That's the first thing they do. How do we set up tracking? Of course, there might be details, nuances. So what is tracking? We do S2S. Well, we don't have S2S. We do something else. We need conversion API for Facebook. But there is no like second thought. Do they need tracking or not?
Yeah, but
Um,
then like I heard that Google is phasing out cookies and the privacy. Is it gonna it's creating a lot of stress around the media buying world?
Well, first of all, and that's good and bad news. I mean, good for everybody, but maybe not good for some trackers. Google again decided not to phase out third-party cookies. So
Oh,
it was going to phase them out for like consecutive 4 years, pushing the date, and so okay, we're not phasing them out. What we'll do what Apple did. We'll just give users the controls to what they like, very explicit controls, very visible controls to what they want to accept, what they don't want to accept. However, again, Google is, of course, a powerhouse, does a
yeah.
lot of traffic, but it's not the only one. And everybody knows that the best traffic is with iOS, or at least usually the most converting traffic is with iOS. And look, they blocked cookies 6 years ago by now,
Yeah, I
and
think so.
everybody has adopted by this time. So it's if somebody fears that Google will do the same, well, I mean, it's already the same for
Yeah.
quite a lot of traffic. So why worry?
Yeah, and also, I mean, like 6 years, like you said, before that, the conversions were really, really good with Facebook ads. And ever since we cannot push the data back to the platform, everything has changed, So and then we have this conversion API, which is called server side tracking, right? And many users uh, an inbuilt solution or something like Stape and all of that. But can having a dedicated tracking solution, right? A dedicated tracking solution, and versus having just conversion API to push back that data back to Facebook or Google. So I mean, why is it that we need I mean, what's business owners, sometimes media buyers, they do not understand the advantage, or maybe that's not clear, the difference between conversion API and having a dedicated tracking and attribution solution to push the data back to the platforms. So what do you think?
Yeah, that's a good question because I mean, conversion API is just the connector between
Correct.
your data and Facebook.
Hmm.
And you were right when you mentioned when iOS 14 hit everybody. Yeah, Facebook was hit hard because
Yeah.
something that was used to work like a clock, it stopped. But it took years, and in my humble opinion, Facebook actually built the best conversion API in the industry. Everybody else catching up, and they're turning that into the advantage. Now, again, conversion API is a channel, a way to pass data from the media buyer to Facebook. And
Hmm.
the important question is that you need to have the data from
Right.
somewhere, somehow. You need to collect it. And that's where the trackers with uh, well thought through, let's say, conversion API integrations might come in handy. Because when people think about conversion, they think about, okay, the data like now, Facebook ID, which is actually not important, maybe hashed email, maybe, well, not maybe revenue data, something else. But in reality, the requirement for this conversion by payload, basically the data you push with each conversion to Facebook, is like 50 lines, maybe more.
Hmm.
And a good tracker, it does the job for the media buyer behind the scenes, collecting all those additional data points, knowing that all those additional points are required to be collected, and pushing that back to Facebook, giving better results. And I can give you an example of RedTrack. We work with quite large media buyers
Yes.
who get advice from Facebook how to spend even more with Facebook, so Facebook gets more of their money. And 2 years ago, they started to build their signals product. That's where the Facebook accumulates all the data. And they said to reach out to those media buyers, say, hey, look, guys, if you take your conversion API, tweak here, tweak there, make these adjustments, your results will be better. So what those media buyers do, they go to us, hey, RedTrack, if you'll tweak here, there, and there, our results will be better. So basically, we got quite a few hints indirectly from the Facebook Signals team to improve our conversion API and to help all RedTrack users get better results with it. Now, seems we're getting those hints directly from the Signals team, and we're about to start building quite a few things for Conversion API that nobody will see, but they will bring extra value.
Now this brings me to the most interesting topic, right? AI. Right, and we had a call prior, right? And then we were
Yeah,
talking about it's machine learning, right? But this AI is a new thing, so anything, even if it's a small machine learning thing, or not, they just put the brand it as an AI powered,
of course.
uh, will AI predictions. It's nothing, right? It's like I can write that code in chat GPT and give it some data to give a prediction, right? So we see a lot of AI being used in marketing. AI predicted predictions, uh, AI powered what do you call it, tweaks, and all of that you should use. I mean,
I I
some of
so like that.
some
I
of
really like.
some of the RedTrack competitors, I don't want to call out names, there are a few other tracking solutions out there. They're actually on their sales pages writing, this is AI, this is AI powered recommendation will give you, but that's actually not AI. There is a difference between machine learning, having a short ton of data and then processing it. So can we just, because this podcast is about the future of ad tracking and attribution and AI as well. So it's not actually AI, but they branded as AI. Where do you see it? Like, the near future, how it's gonna.
Well, look, with AI and marketing, and especially in our niche of tracking, all types of tracking, like media buying, affiliate, etc., it started many years ago with AI smart links, which were not AI, and by the way, maybe not even smart links, as
Yeah.
long as it just converts better than regular links. It was just a set of rules
Uh-huh.
with basic parameters. If X, then Y. And for
Right.
some trackers, they would hide those parameters from the user and say,
Yeah.
hey, that's AI smart link. No, same with attribution. Yes, you can churn tons of data. You can capture like using fingerprint, because there is not rocket science in, well, there is some rocket science in tracking, but
Yeah.
that goes a long way. Not now. You can capture different clicks from device. Say, hey, we have AI that knows those. No, it's just being able to put the right conversion to the right click.
Yeah.
We do the same. We basically know, we always, if somebody needs, especially for media buyers in e-com, in info business, um, because they have multi-touch attribution
Attribution.
quite often, which is less to do with affiliates, because affiliates is very straightforward. Click, conversion. It's easy. When you do e-com, sometimes it's paid click, then returning, then maybe Google search, and then the conversion. So we by default attribute the conversion to the paid click, the last paid click, even if it was not the click that resulted in the conversion. We don't call that attribution AI, because it's not difficult. However, what AI is really good, and we can kind of dive deep. I'm not professional in terms of AI when it comes to what exactly constitutes AI, what's the difference between artificial general intelligence that everybody's pushing towards and just large language models that currently everybody using, or whatever type of machine learning that was popular and still being used multiple spheres for life like 2 or 3 years ago. So let's call all this AI. What it does really good, it helps us humans doing mundane repetitive tasks, so we don't notice that. And actually, when that conversion API pushes data back to Facebook, consider, hey, it's AI, because what it does, instead of you manually copying the data, saving it, going back to Facebook, uploading, it just does it. And AI is all about removing repetitive, routine
Yeah.
work from us humans, so that we allegedly can focus on something more creative and not munching another Netflix series.
Right.
So, what most likely will be happening in the world of, software as a general, is
Mhm.
that the user interfaces that we're used to will be gradually substituted and maybe even replaced by conversational, or not conversational, whatever type of AI agents that we have. And look, I used to work in Microsoft DOS. Like, I used to run command prompts.
Oh my God,
Then I
that was like a 20, 30 years back story.
well, keys even 25, yeah, 30 years by now.
25,
Then
30,
there
right?
was then there was this like Norton Commander and other stuff that was kind of a way to do it a slightly better. I don't even know how it's called properly. Then there was Windows.
Yeah.
Now we have cells. All those things are just the interfaces to work with other systems.
Right,
And
correct.
well, AI agents will be another interface. It
Yes.
will be better, will do more with less input, and will allegedly save us time. And look, in some spheres, people still use command prompt, right? Or all the server stuff, etc. They use it.
Do you use command prompts?
Yeah, they still do.
In
When you
certain
work with
cases, maybe there may be special case scenarios or something.
Yeah, yeah. So that's why they have not gone completely. They just been moved to special needs. Same with interfaces we're used now. They will move to special needs. I guess the phones will suffer this more scroll fade because look, we don't use it to make calls actually most of the time.
Mm.
We
Mm.
use it to interface with data and the tools, like a screen in front of our eyes. So that's what may happen, like because screens will be more portable, augmented and stuff. So you don't have to go like this. You have just your glasses and data is
Right.
being projected
Yeah,
there.
I think Sergey Brin introduced this like 10 years back, and I think it was too ahead of its time, right? Google Glasses, if you remember.
It's always difficult to be a pioneer, even if you're a huge company like Google. But what we don't know is if that project actually dead. For consumer, yes. For special applications, who knows? Maybe it's already been used in the military for those smart devices. We just don't see it in the
Yes,
movies
yes.
yet.
And that information is not available to the public. Or, yeah.
It is. We just nobody's looking. I mean, look. I guess if somebody would curious enough and dig, okay, what's happened to all those smart glasses technology?
Yeah.
They learn that being used across multiple places, just more industrial need,
Mm.
because of the technology and the cost of the technology at that time was not
Yeah.
ready for consumer market. Maybe next year or two it will be ready for consumer market, and we'll see it appearing everywhere. I don't know. We'll see.
We don't know,
But
right?
looks like
The truth is, we don't know it. It may be still in use because the technology was there for 10 years for a very long time and it cannot. Which brings me to the next question, right? Next topic. We, all of us, we have been what we do, all of us, we constantly produce data for the platforms, right?
yes,
So we consciously, unconsciously, we are constantly producing data for the platforms. When we are watching a video on YouTube, watching an ad, clicking on it, whatever we are doing, scrolling through Instagram, right? We
yes,
are
yes,
constantly producing data for the platforms. So the platforms has tremendous amount of data now. With something like RedTrack, a dedicated tracking solution, whenever somebody is in our ecosystem, I say our e-commerce website, our sales funnel, or whatever, we are clicking there, we are tracking their clicks, their activity, uh, how they navigate to various pages, and then a multi-touch attribution. They came in through a Google ad, then they saw our ad on Instagram, and then we sent an email and they bought from the email, right? This is what it is in simple words. Now, I was talking to you the other day. I remember we were talking about owning the data and renting the data and big affiliates. Like, there is a reason nobody can beat them, right? They have a gazillion data, and you mentioned this, right? And they use the data to train and create a model for themselves. I would say, for simplicity, it's their super pixel, right?
yep, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And then owning the data versus renting the data, how does that work? Because I think majority of my audience doesn't know this. It's like it's kind of an eye opener. How does that
I'll
work?
give you. Yeah, it's sim. I mean, it's not simple,
Yeah,
but
it's not simple. It's not simple.
um, let's start with what it means to own the data.
Yeah.
When somebody opens Google Analytics, and everybody knows Google Analytics, even
Yes.
Analytics 4, which nobody likes, it's still good. It works. It does its job. Um, with Google Analytics, most of us, well, there is a paid version, but most of us don't own the data. We just own the reports because there is no way we can get the data that Google Analytics collected on your properties, processed, and build those reports. No, you just see the results. You have no idea how those results came
We
to
don't
be. You
own the
don't have,
data. We own the reports. Correct. Yes.
and
Exactly.
this is the key part. Now, with trackers like RedTrack, of course, you can just focus on the reports, and that's fine. But we do know that most of our larger clients, they also get the raw logs of the data and ingest into their own system. When they sometimes just accumulate it for the future, they might build additional layers of reports with the data we don't see as a tracker, etc. And actually, that's the right way, because when you own the data, you might reuse it beyond the tracker. We currently employ very simple ways to reuse the data already. Example, uh, let's go back to Facebook Convention API and some other APIs that work like Facebook Convention
Mm.
API. By default, uh, all the APIs, attribution models will send Facebook conversions to Facebook, Google to Google, TikTok to TikTok, etc.
Mm.
Now, some APIs like Facebook allow us to replicate the pixel and send all data back to Facebook. And that's what
Yes,
we do for our customers if they wish. So they can send not only Facebook conversions to Facebook, they can send all their conversions to Facebook. What it
correct,
means, they give Facebook pixel larger learning data set,
correct.
and it can learn. Now, then they can save their data from the past conversions, like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Then they create a new um, offer, a new something. They have two options. One, they can actually connect since with RedTrack you can send the data not to one pixel but to several. I don't know, like 3, 4, 5, 6, as many as you need, but usually they do 2 or 3. They can have a pixel that is constantly trained across all the other offers on specific data set. That's one thing. The other way is when they create an offer, they just push prior data from all the other offers to RedTrack as a fake conversions, but with real data points at scale.
Okay.
And that data are being immediately like well, not one blast, but like across the 2 days, like spoon fed into Pixel, like hundreds of thousands of conversions from the same topic that happened across other offers for the last, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. And Facebook, wow, Facebook gets all this learning data and allegedly does faster and better job.
Of
What
course, of
we are
course.
thinking now is that technology permitting legal stuff almost there, is that, hey, I have this data sitting for a topic.
Yeah.
I can actually rent this data. Somebody started a new offer with this topic. I
Okay,
can push my data.
help me understand. I open a e-commerce store. I'm selling shoes, and my store is
Yeah.
a new store. I can come to you and, hey, Vlad, can I rent your pixel that has got conversions on shoes for men, running shoes, and I use that pixel. I upload it in my ads manager
No, you
conversion.
just get my data. I push a subsection of my data about running shoes conversions into your pixel,
So data
and you
has
pay me
data
like a
or
cent for each conversion.
so that's raw data has data or how?
It's the data I own. That's basically my raw conversion data with
Hmm.
all the Facebook required, not Facebook, I don't know, Snapchat, etc. data points that I can feed into your pixel to train your
Hmm.
pixel, so that you don't have to generate all those hundreds of purchases before it starts working.
So does a service like this already exist where people can actually rent?
I don't know. I'm sharing this out here. Someone may build it faster than us. I know that we definitely will offer this as a service to our clients in the near future. But with so many things we want to address as a tracker, that data exchange might be uh, not coming live uh, this or next quarter. But again, uh, it's very simple because offline conversions upload used to exist all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it used to be a tool. What we want to do is that you don't have to search for those people. Like
Uh-huh.
RedTrack has thousands of users. Some of them may opt into that service So they mark the pixel, say, hey, we have this data. That's the
Hmm.
price tag for per whatever 1,000
Yeah.
signals. And then somebody else says, hey, I want to get this data. So they connect automatically, do exchange, trade money, and RedTrack just pushes the data. And that's where AI basically is coming from, because now with AI, uh, whatever you agree to call AI, it's quite easy to validate what is meant in that statement and
Yeah.
what the data actually is.
Yeah.
And this is important. So at least when we can say, hey, that data points are actually running shoes
Hmm.
and not baseball caps.
Right.
So then, and it's an important part of all this exchange to actually build, like maybe not transparency, but at least predictability that if you pay for running shoes, you'll get running shoes data, not baseball caps data. And that's why, I mean, it's very easy to say again, hey, we'll just push the data. When you do it one to one, you call me. Yeah, maybe we can do that. I'll just upload this my conversion logs into a pixel. You have your data. But if you want to build a system that
Uh-huh.
creates multiple additional layers that you need to have in order to facilitate those transactions at scale. And that's what always is difficult with trackers, because if you think about one case scenario, I
Yeah.
talked with the guy. He's a fantastic media buyer. He's in here in Lithuania, does media buying for a couple of apps, couple of solution companies. Between his skills, ChatGPT, and some other stuff, he built this system that is actually, I would say, better than RedTrack to an extent. Of course, it sits in his very crazy, huge Google spreadsheets. It has all the data. It took him 9 months
Hmm.
to build it. It's amazing. But it's so tightly geared towards his specific case that basically he'll want to build for somebody else. It took him time to rebuild it,
Okay.
because it's not a solution. It's like custom made for his specific needs. And when you do the tracker or any solution, you need to think about hundreds, thousands of customers
Hmm.
that will use it according to their requirements. And so that's why making it either tracking solution or this data exchange solution, which will serve many to many users, is way more difficult than just say, hey, can you push your data to my pixel? But it's doable, and we plan to do it.
It's like training your pixel with external data so that you do not need to do all of the hard work. And
Yeah.
then yeah, and then these are all conversion data, right? So
Yes. But you decide. I mean, it's your data in the end. What makes us different, we give users the ownership of their data. We don't tell them, hey, it's not yours, just check the reports. No, your logs are your logs. Take
your
them.
logs and your logs. And
Yeah.
is all of that compliant with GDPR and all of that, right?
For us, yes. For our users, it's they we can advise, but it's we build all the tools to keep them compliant. But it's up
Hmm.
to them, and that is say it's legally more challenging than technological. For example, if I collect somebody's data on my website,
Hmm.
then I actually need to get the consents for all I plan to do with the data, and
Correct.
those consents should be fairly transparent, visible, and actionable.
Uh,
However, look, most people just give that consent without thinking.
without
Anyways,
paying. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Majority, all of
and
them.
so the only thing we as a technology should be responsible for, the data point with consent can be traded. The data point without consent can be traded. And
Hmm.
for us as technology, it's easier than for end user who needs to collect that consent. There are some ways, because click data requires less consent compared to conversion data, because click data has almost zero PI information. And that's
But these
again,
are just IDs, right? These are identifiers.
yes, only IDs. And again, it's tricky, it's questionable. We're working with GDPR consultants
Mhm.
closely just to ensure that we are as close to be
Yeah, and
compliant as
on
possible.
top of that, you
Because
are in Europe, right?
Yeah.
You're the hub of
So
GDPR, the most difficult one.
we are blessed to know the guy who
Right.
does privacy and GDPR and coding and legal stuff for like 20 years. So it's like me doing digital marketing for 25 years by now.
Yeah.
So he does almost the same number of years for privacy, combining both technology and development skills. So when I first talked to him, I say, "Wow, I finally met a person who actually understands what he's talking about when it comes to GDPR." Because most of people, even people who do legal advice,
Uh-huh.
they have no idea. I talked to quite a few legal companies regarding GDPR compliance, and their answers were really good for the answers of from legal company, but they were shallow. Like dig
Uh,
deeper, and there is no substitute.
right.
That guy, he is amazing. I mean, he showed us so much, and he said, on the bright side, he told us, surprisingly, you RedTrack for your stage of the business in a way better shape than I would expect. So he was very surprised that we are actually faring quite good with all the compliance stuff. So we're just fixing things, then we'll move to compliance for our clients as well.
One thing that affiliates struggle that I've seen, specifically affiliates, like, e-com brands owners, media buyers don't care about it. But what affiliates struggle is with bot traffic and bot clicks because CPC is very important for them and all. So, I mean, is it a good idea to pay for a third party bot filter? These are complicated stuff. Or how does that work with RedTrack? And how does that actually affect? Because, there is so much of bot traffic, the numbers get screwed. And
So
how,
first of all, there are like known bots and malicious bots. Let's put it this way.
hmm,
For known bots, like I don't know, Facebook ad bots, Google ad bots, potentially moderators, because when you launch your Facebook ads, there is ton of traffic that is not actually human traffic.
hmm,
We have built in the system which just let all those clicks go through the funnel, so it's
hmm,
moderated, but they are not
logs.
like recorded, so
Yeah,
they're not
log.
incrementing your clicks and conversion numbers. And of course, this is constantly growing, and we're always finding new ways to add this bot or find this way, etc. uh, the other issue is malicious bots,
Please ask.
because we focus mostly on channels like Facebook or Google. It's not an
Hmm.
issue
It's not an issue,
for
right?
most of our clients. However, it is still an issue in the industry. So recently, we got again the circle back of multiple anti-fraud solutions. Hey, how can you do the integration with RedTrack?
Hmm.
And the trick for integration is that tracking is almost real time. The conversion happens so fast that if you just analyze conversions,
Hmm.
like you lose money. You need to analyze clicks. You better do it real time. And to get the real time data about good and bad quality of the click, it means that technically the fraud solution should sit inside the tracker, which is
Hmm.
very difficult because for RedTrack, it's not like one server that you can plug in another server. It's a distributed system across all the continents with multiple data centers, multiple servers in those data centers. So um, basically, if you want to plug in the fraud detection solution, it needs to live in all that system,
Hmm.
like private cloud, which we tried with the great partners, but the solution was not sustainable in the long run, so we stopped supporting it.
Yeah.
And now we're building, well, we designed
Okay.
another way um, to help our users integrate with the fraud detection solution of their choice and get the data back to RedTrack almost real time.
It
And we
seems.
never, yeah,
It
we
seems.
never went to build our own solution because we
Mhm.
don't think we're pros in fraud detection. It's a separate like expertise.
Right.
So we
Correct.
need to constantly analyze, learn, build all those ways to spot those malicious clicks. So we don't think it's our business, but
Hmm.
we designed, and by the end of February, we'll implement a way to connect almost any third-party fraud detection solution easily and get the data back to RedTrack.
Okay, so it's like an API call, right, or something.
It will be more like feeding a click stream into the fraud system and
Hmm.
getting responses from them.
Right,
So
because
it's more like server integration.
it seems like there is a lot of things coming up in the product roadmap of.
Always. I mean, that's my job to talk about future. I mean, some of them happen years after I said, "Hey, we will do it." Because, I mean, surprisingly, when you think about, "Hey, let's do this," and some projects are well thought, let's say, "Okay, it will take us 6 months."
Hmm.
6 months down the line, happened that yes, the project we thought took us 6 months, but now for it to allow it to work, we need to actually change all the three other systems around it in RedTrack.
Uh,
Otherwise, it will not work because they will not be in balance. And we start changing all the other systems. It's like our automation rules. We told everybody, hey, they will go live in September.
yeah.
And UI was ready in September. We actually had the system done by September. And then we started to test it and realized that all the other parts are not on par with that new section and
Yeah.
need to be upgraded to the same, I know, speed of data passing to make all those rules work. So it took us 6 more months to fix adjusting systems, and it happened in January. So now, look, I'll tell you, and I told it to our users in September. New automation rules are coming in February. And
Okay.
I believe in it wholeheartedly, actually, because they are in testing. But that same was in September. And that's the reality of running operations. That sometimes, with best intentions, when you do something, then you plug it in real life environment,
Hmm.
it's not working like it should. And it
Right.
can be seen in the test environment because tests, they're not just dealing with that volume of data. I wish we were large, smart like Google, who does millions, well, thousands tests per year, just plugging in a specific set of code for a subset of users. We'll get there. We are
Hmm.
growing. We will improve, but for now, we dream of building this, building that, and we slowly accelerating. Look, we built Chrome plugin. We
Hmm.
launched uh, AI agent. We're not only talking about those AI agents 30 minutes ago. We actually have AI agent in RedTrack accounts for all our users building reports on the fly.
Oh, okay, okay.
And the thing is great. I mean, it's AI.
Yeah.
We are constantly training it, so it still might give you garbage data. It's like with all the AI, so it still have to learn a lot about your specific data, how what it means, what your words mean in relation to your data. But
Mhm.
it's there, it's already working, it's producing results, and it's working way better than it used to work a year ago when you did the first time. And the best part that it builds you all the charts you want to build, not only just the tables. You want a pie chart? Hey, this is the pie chart with this data. You want a stacked bars? Hey, this is your stacked bars.
Mm.
And what it means for us is that we, as a company, don't have to think through all those interface for all those chart building, all those controls.
Yeah.
We just plug in ChatGPT API. We
Mhm.
built an agent that kind of checks, counter checks the response and does all this stuff, and it builds the charts, all the charts you want. And that's what I was talking. That's the beauty of the AI, that it will augment humans, and
Awesome.
it also might speed up
Yes.
time to life for some of the features,
Awesome. And that gives you more time to be creative and find avenues to grow your business and all of
or
that.
just enjoy the weather. I mean, walk around. Humans should
Yeah.
not be working 24/7. I
Right.
mean, that's. I mean, we do. The startups, you work a lot when you do media buying, you do affiliate, you work a lot, but maybe that will change. We'll work sufficient time to generate results. We need to run our businesses, and we'll have more time in our life for something else. We'll see.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and it's already coming. It's already coming. People
Yes.
are building agents, like you said. There are some RedTrack users that took the answers from the knowledge base, build their own agent, so they do not need to go to support. So
Yeah, I was amazed once there we recently had a guy on the call. I mean, I'm on the calls with customers still probably 5 times a week, and then I'm on the Telegram. So it's important that I stay in touch and get. I prefer negative feedback because it's actionable, but sometimes also positive. So that case was we came for negative feedback, and the guy said, "Hey, no, all good. You know what? Between if I don't know what your support told to me, I just push the answer into ChatGPT together with your knowledge base connected, and it explains to me what your support meant. And if I don't know how to ask the right question to support, I get it back to ChatGPT. I get this question from her. I put it to your support, and I get the response. So between support, your knowledge base, and ChatGPT, I set up in 3 weeks a complete tracking solution, and now I have something I was not able to build for 3 years with that other company he used to work or use for tracking for 3 years. And so he was happy. He was genuinely happy because he was struggling to have this data in one place for 3 years,
yeah,
and then he got it in 3 weeks
3 weeks. Yeah.
before Christmas. Like, wow, it's
Yeah.
it's a miracle.
Yeah, that's the future of AI agents. It can like do a lot
Yeah,
for
yep.
us.
I guess in the end, what you'll do is that you'll open any tracking solution and say, hey, I need to connect Facebook with my ClickBank account. Here is your my Facebook credential. Here is my ClickBank credential.
It'll do
Please
it.
do it.
Yeah,
And
that's
it
it.
will do it.
It'll
Yeah,
do it. It'll do it. Right. Yeah, now with this NA10 workflow automation tool you connect it with, there like the world is moving really, really very fast. And that's the reason we discussed the future of ad tracking, attribution, and along with AI agents to automate all of that stuff. Vlad, thank you so much for breaking everything down so clearly for our audience and everyone out there. And obviously, thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule. I wanted to ask you one last thing. If
sure.
my audience wants to learn more about RedTrack and wants to implement, is it just redtrack.io, or there is a YouTube channel or something, they could go and,
Well, first, we have the website, right?
of course.
Second, we have a Telegram channel where people can go and ask questions.
Mhm.
Third, there is my own, I call it Red Track Raw because when I get the questions, I used to do that. Recently, I need to get back to doing those videos. I just do a quick loom, upload it to YouTube, and
Mhm.
it has tons of answers to the questions. We're currently working with quite a few people, so they build their own courses on RedTrack that will host on our systems, and they will expand it
Okay.
course on their YouTube channels, and all this stuff actually free.
Right. So I'll do one thing. Down below in the description, I'll put a link to the resources
Yep.
where our audience can go ahead and learn and explore and sign up for tracking solutions.
And
And
I'll promise if down below somebody will ask a question, I'll be checking that video periodically for the next 2 weeks and
yes,
trying to answer those questions so the answers are consistent with the material.
beautiful. So if there is any question, just put it in the comment below. And I'll also, if you do not mind, I'll also share your LinkedIn or whatever social links that you have.
You're welcome to, but I think if you'll share the links to the company profile, especially the Telegram group, that
Mhm.
will bring more value because I still respond there too.
Yeah.
And but I will not be the only person who responds. We have an active group. We actually have users helping other users with advice, experience, suggestions. So it's like a community just in Telegram.
All right, so I'll link down the Telegram. It's down below in the comments. And thanks again, Vlad. Thank you so much for your time.
You're
Uh,
welcome.
yeah, bye bye.
Take care.